Hi, welcome to the StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 246. And it's been a good long bit. Again, I would say that this is a monster episode, but like it's not October anymore.
Right.
It's just time warp.
Yeah.
Been super busy. We decided because we have so much other stuff to talk about that we should probably like boil it down. I went to Rhinebeck. I got sick. And then November, I'm trying to be super thankful for everything in my life. So I wanted to say just like one thing that I was thankful for in that whole time period.
Okay.
I guess it's probably a little bit longer, and maybe I'm answering it in a meandering way, but I had a really great time in New York City with my brother. I had like pretty close to, other than my children were not involved, my perfect day. So I got to wake up without an alarm clock. I got to drink some coffee and watch some of the Today Show in the morning. Mm-hmm. Went out for a run, saw some sights that I'd never seen before, very picturesque along the Hudson River. Went and had a float with my brother, which was super relaxing, and I can tell you about it later if it's a long story and I'll talk too much about it. We had sushi that day. Again, more coffee was involved. Some sightseeing, Central Park, knitting, all key parts of a perfect day for me. And so I just really had a great time in New York City, being very chill, and then the rest of it was like whirlwind. Mm-hmm. Like selling the book on Rhinebeck Row, and doing a few like LYSs and needles up, and yeah, like it was all just very, and then this, and then this, and then you know, and so it was no wonder I came back and immediately got sick, but still battling a little bit of a cough, but ultimately getting better every day. And you? See how that one thing turned into just like a billion things?
Well, I went to visit my mom. She is a shrimp farmer now, if you don't know.
That's happy.
And so that was interesting to learn about what they've been going through with that. She's got a little bit more of her shop set up, so if you're interested in going and seeing what my mom's done out on her farm, message her, because I'm sure she'd be happy to open it up or have a reason to push through and get more of it done. But it is very close to being ready to be just open all the time. Not all the time. She's got to actually sew at some point. And then, let's see, we had a runaway.
Somebody ran away?
We had a runaway.
Oh, I'm like, somebody ran away? Your cat? Did your cat run away? Yes, we went to Stillwater, which was fantastic. Yes.
I thought I wasn't speaking gibberish. She just looked at me like
I thought, my first thought went to a cat, and then it went to a kid. We had a runaway.
Okay.
What?
No.
Yes. We went to Stillwater. Just saying. And that was fun.
Yep.
And restful.
Yeah, it was pretty relaxing, although the crowd is shrinking. Like, we did not give much, we were terrible at planning.
No.
That was on us.
It was the most ad hoc that we've ever done it. So
yes.
I was surprised that anybody was there besides us. But even then, it would have been, it would have been fun.
Yeah, no, it was great. I was happy for the people who did show up. And,
yes. Yeah. It felt like a little bit, because Leah and I are such extroverts, it felt for a little bit like we were doing the song and dance for everybody that was sitting there. And then Leah left and I was like, okay, it's on me.
We were pretty quiet.
It's fine. I'm used to trying to be entertaining. It's part of my day job. I do other things that involve my brain more than being entertaining, but part of people wrangling is being pseudo entertaining.
So yeah, I want to be thankful for that laugh fest. I'm sure I had a few belly laughs in there.
Oh yeah,
during the day.
Yeah, random passersby or heard some real interesting conversations.
Yes. So that was fun. Acquired some yarn. might have gotten like bitten by the like, oh, I need more, because like now I sent out something on Instagram. I'm like, what is everybody's wish list for Christmas? I need ideas, like, yeah. And I wanted fiber ideas because I have quite a few ideas for Christmas that aren't fiber.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you look at my stash intake by year, like October and November just have to be like, like I could be semi-virtuous the rest of the year, and it hits like these cooler temps, and something in me triggers.
Oh yeah, today was definitely a trigger day.
19 degrees today. I'm like, it skipped fall, ish type weather, and just went directly to winter. Do not pass go.
So that's what I would say. Okay. And then now we got business to take care
of. Lots to be thankful there too. I mean, it does not fall on me, and I never forget how awesome it is to have wonderful people send us things, and then we get to make other people happy. Yes. It's pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. So I wanted to thank everybody that was part of the Friendship KAL. Yeah. The pictures and the love that went into all of the knitwear was fantastic. And we drew prizes. So we have 6 prizes that we drew for, and they're all pairs. So if you, it's like a fun prize to win. So the thought process being that you would get one, and then you would give one to a knitting friend. Yep. Whether that's across the miles or somebody that you get to sit with every week, lucky duck, and knit with, which is, I'm kind of missing that. We don't sit together and knit anymore. Like, this used to be this used to be my knit thing. So Zany Crafts gave us these wonderful sock blanks. They want to live with me. This one's melted crayon. And the other one I think is just a one of a kind, OOAK. But we drew, and 2 through 42, we had number 11 was AK-47. And yeah, that was, she did some recruiting. There were a lot of friends pictures where she was one of the friends, or she had a friend in the picture. So that was pretty fantastic. We also had number 3, which was Math Elite 07, and she won the Silver Dreamland Design Bundle. So thank you to Silver Dreamland Podcast and that huge bundle. And so again, Math Elite, if a set for you and then a set for a friend of your at your discretion. So if you can contact us and let us know that you found out organically that you won, and then we can let her know to gift it to you and to your friend that you so choose. Then we've got, these are so fun. The Silver Shed USA. They are matching or coordinating in certain extents. So for these 3 winners, if whoever contacts us first, we'll have your pick. There's hearts, there's yarn ball sheep, and then kind of a green, more stoic sheep, I guess. Yep. So those are actually
yarn ball sheep. Sorry.
Yeah, you were showing the other side. The other person was like, the people were like, nope. So those 3 were number 40, Debbie J. Jackson, number 33, Wee Sheep, and number 14, MMLT, Mary. So do you want to contact Amy, and she can ship those out? And
am I shipping all the prizes?
I handed those to you because I have so many over here. I can, if you would like to, you are more than welcome to.
I'll ship these. How about that?
Okay.
You get whatever's left.
Okay. So we did the Dreamland Design Bundle. We did the Silver Shed USA. We did the Zany Crafts. So the special drawing that was for all of the folks that took a picture with a friend and posted it in the FO thread was our ZK package. So that was a bag, a ZK 2017 bag, the Yarn Trio, a water bottle, and then some Knitter's Pride needles. And I believe that was all that I pulled out of there. But again, you've got another set for a friend, so you can recruit. And those, again, were fabulous pictures. Absolutely loved them. I need to get mine out that I picked out and knit with it. It's reminding me. And Jenna's was in there too. That was 3 Irish girls, but they've got 7 or 6.
I know.
Oh, the speckles.
I think that I had put that aside and it ended up getting lost in the shuffle because I think we ended up giving it away.
Oh no.
That's all right. I got 3 Irish girls.
And not super soft base.
Yeah, I'm not totally heartbroken.
Okay.
I know where Jenna lives.
So from those, we are from the numbers 23, 10, 15.
No, 2, 3,
10, 15, 16, 18, 28, 29, 32, 33, 35, 41, and 42. We drew the number 15, which is Holly Isaac, and that was a pretty fantastical picture. That was awesome. She knit socks for all of her bridesmaids, and they were all standing there in their pretty wedding stuff with these socks on.
It's very cute.
If I had been a knitter. If only I had been a knitter when I was getting married, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, contact me, and I will ship that out. You can make a lot of friends happy with that one.
Just hand out pieces of it.
Yeah, exactly. And then last but certainly not least, a duo of Minnesota 52 PDFs gifted by Moa to you. And that was number 30, H. Nordquist, Heather. So let me know that you have found out, and I will gift it to you, and then who you would like me to also gift it to. So yeah, excellent. All right, next up we have the Selfstriping KAL. We have lots of KALage going on. The fabulous Silver Shed USA gifted us all kinds of loveliness. Apples, love the apples. And then 716 Knit heard that we were in need of some self-striping, so this is her HXC, that she sent along for safety of Christmas and puppies. I like mushy peas and 20% hardcore. Yeah. I think in the name of if you could knit it and use it for Christmas type knitting, the one that I'm drawing for the October self-striping will be these two, and then a pattern from my any of my direct from Ravelry sale patterns, individual sale patterns. So that was 2 through 1226, and I drew 141, 710, and 1204. Pretty good distribution. That random number generator. So 141 is Patty Feller, 710 is Cat Wings Cat, and 1204 is W. James Wendy. So again, just contact me, say what your preference is, and if you could also specify your shipping address if your first preference isn't the pattern, then I can get that shipped out to you. And again, thank you to the fabulous sponsors. I think out on Instagram I said it was StockinetteZombies. It was, they are equal parts generous and fabulous. He was like, that's my mom.
Yeah.
I kind of like her. At least a little bit, right? All right, then. I think it's
not enough.
As if that's not enough. There's more. We're giving away more. The fabulous Andy and Steve at Leading Men Fiber Arts sent us their Winter Wonderland kit to review and let you know about. I was able to do that out on Instagram before when we weren't able to record, but we weren't able to get the recording out. So if you didn't see it, hopefully you saw it and you bought it, because the kits went super fast, like fast.
Yes, they did.
That we aren't telling you now about that you're not able to get, but we are giving away parts of the kit, and they are equal parts fabulous and generous.
And I do want to say that it was very well put together, and that if they do this again, I highly recommend that you go for it.
Yeah.
Because very nice.
And you would have heard about it if you followed them on Instagram, so make sure that you follow them on Instagram. I actually get push notifications, so just like, throughout my day, I get to see beautiful yarn just pops up on my phone. And it's like I take a moment, I take a deep breath, and I blow out, and I'm like, this is beautiful. It just gives me a little serenity in my day, I guess. I was there when this picture was taken.
Oh, yes.
In front of the wall. And in fact, I remember Amber saying, "That's your Christmas card photo."
Oh,
yeah. So yes, very well put together. The Christopher Salas made a fabulous shawl, and you got a download code for that with the kit. You also got the component parts. So 3 skeins of DK weight. They're dramaturg in the ice, ice baby. Dun, 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 dun. Baby, it's cold outside.
In Winter Wonderland.
In Winter Wonderland.
Yeah. She had to sing them all.
I did. Well, they're all songs.
And then some lovely, I don't know how to say that, Selkie Studios stitch markers. So
and a ornament.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Packaged in scraps so it doesn't get broken, with scraps in it.
And it is glass.
Yes.
Although it's a nice, like, I'm not getting a tink, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it is filled with yarn, but
it's kind of dampening the sound.
Yes. And a fat squirrel bag. Love our AB. Yes. Love it. Love it. So, as part of our helping them promote something that sold out and we didn't get to promote, we wanted to spread the love so that you could get a piece of the kit. They were at one point where you could just buy the yarn and the shawl pattern, but even those must have sold out
because we couldn't find it
on the website. So yeah, go out and check. I can try linking, but I think I saw on that nice little push notification that they're going to Cancun. Yeah. So they're probably not posting anything new to their website. But we are giving away the bag, shawl, pattern code, ornament, and to enter, let us know some. It's the Giftmas time of year, so any pattern ideas for gifts that you love to knit for others.
Yep.
Yes. I'm going to knit some color work.
Yeah.
I may have used a naughty word earlier, like I would knit the heck out of some color work with those 2 colors. But not that word.
No, it was a little naughtier than that.
And that is how they became mine. But I do love the Winter Wonderland colorway.
Some might say it was naughty AF.
Maybe.
But yes, this I went to pre-order this colorway, and I did it today, and I think the last day was passed already.
I think the push notification I got, it was earlier today, so you missed it by mere hours.
Oh man.
Yes, but hand delivered by Megan.
Yes. So, yeah, I plan on doing something fabulous with this, probably sooner rather than later, with the coordinating stitch markers. I can happily recommend Amy Beth's knitting bags. I already own several of these
in that size. I bought 2 at Needles Up alone, and I've been to a couple of knitting pipelines where I've bought them. Yeah, I have a lot of fabulous Amy Beth bags, and this one is gorgeous as ever. I love all of that. A lot of hers feature trees because I've got a soft spot for the trees. Okay, so that is that.
So while we are reviewing it, we've decided that we can let some of it go.
Spread the love.
And spread the love.
Yep.
So, pattern, bag, and Christmas ball.
Yep.
Just tell us what knitted gifts you like to knit.
And we'll probably draw for that the next time we record. So
yes.
It's your guess as long as it might take. Anybody's guess.
Truer words were never spoken.
Anybody's guess. I want to I think we should throw down and challenge ourselves to at least every couple, skip a week, following week, or maybe even really be we can do this every week. We can do this every week if we really set our hearts to it. All right. Last but certainly not least, you may have noticed that we had a birthday. We are 6 years old as far as the podcast is concerned.
Yikes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. How'd that happen?
I don't know.
Had quite a few people contacting us, and as you were just mentioning, life has happened.
Mm-hmm.
We contacted the illustrator probably a little late, but she, as Jane, has had a baby. And we all know how kind of our lives turn around there. But I wouldn't say that the delay was all on her end. But super adorable, like the most adorable graphics that you've ever seen this year. So we're not calling it a birthday cake because our birthday has already come and gone. And actually, it's kind of a gift that you're buying for yourselves, right? So let's call it a celebration kit. So we have a celebration kit. It is a slumber party theme, a knitting slumber party theme. And it's got yarn by the amazing Queen City. And we're working with them on that, and a bag that is equal parts adorable. I'm all about the equal parts today. Can't be uneven parts adorable.
I've already seen it. It is really cool.
Yes.
So,
by the Silver Shed USA, if you hadn't guessed by her already having seen it. And just like last year, we're going to have a smaller option. But the big option, we know for sure, is going to be $50, and we'll have $6 domestic shipping on top of that, and $25 international, as we have in years past. We end up refunding if it's less. So if you're in Canada and it ends up being, $15, then we refund the $10 back to you. Mm-hmm. And it's limited to 100. And those are going up for sale on Friday, November 17th at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. No more daylight savings time. Are you feeling it this week?
No.
Oh, really? My kids are feeling it.
I enjoy that I can drive in the morning in the daylight, but then at night it was dark. So it was like...
there was an Instagram meme about it that was like, it's really dark. It must be midnight. What time is it? And somebody was like, it's 5 p.m. And it does feel like that. Not only that, but the newscaster here, which I don't know that I've ever realized before, said that November is the darkest month. So even though the days are shorter in December, it is a lot more overcast in November. Mm. Like you have less days with sun in November for some reason. I don't know if it's just a cloudy time of year.
I did notice the other day when it was really sunny, I felt like, wow, it's really sunny.
Yeah,
like it really
100%. Whoa. Yeah. Like I've been feeling kind of run down, partially because of this cold thing that I'm fighting. But that day that it was really sunny, I was like, I am alive!
Yep.
So, yep. So the celebration kits, please join us in celebrating. And we think that the delay may help some people be like, husband,
birthday or
celebration
Christmas is coming.
Yep. Get me some of that. Get me some of that. Yep. Friday, November 15th or 17th. I may have said 15th earlier.
17th.
It
is Friday.
Yep. Friday, November 17th, 3 p.m.
Okay.
Come check it out. And I think last year we shared some sneak peeks, so we might do that.
Oh yeah, like
colors,
piece of the graphic a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
There's some parts in there that I think we could crop that would be cute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You don't know what it is yet. We're so excited. Yes. So even though it's been delayed, we're still super excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I am excited about it. All right. Did you have any FOs? I know you said that your packing was a fail.
Yes, I had a packing fail. I had finished a sweater, and it's not in here.
That's right, you were going to wear it on Saturday, you said.
Yeah.
Don't, Henley.
Yeah, my Henley.
Where are you, Henley?
And then I also had a bigger hat that I thought that I had packed, but it is not here. So I have Hexes and a baby hat. So I have these Hexes that are done, and I actually had one more that was done. So I've gotten.
You said you were on current month, right?
I am on current month. I am caught up. I have 2 more to go, and I am knitting on one of them now. So in November.
Awesome.
So I did 4 in the catch up, and so one of them is blocking, and these are 3. So I'm excited for that. This is the final block, and I had to do a color substitution. This teal is supposed to be like a yellow, and I didn't have enough of that yellow, and by Garnet, I am not waiting for an order to come from somewhere. I'm just gonna sub. I had a lot of different colors that were left over, and I just picked that tealy color. Thought it blended in pretty well, and going to use those. So 2 more. Yes. And I have formulated some ideas about what I'm going to do for my people who are sticking in there and gonna make it to the end. So I think that you're going to really want to get across the finish line. So please get across the finish line with me.
You can do it.
Yes. And then I decided to make a tin can knits pattern, the Bumble, for a baby. The baby, my coworker is pregnant, so
always just, yeah.
It's a cute little,
super cute, but also like, oh yeah, that's right, their heads are that small.
Tiny baby, oh look at the baby, oh, they draw my little face on my hand. But I was a little.
What is that?
Of course you're gonna ask me.
It's really pretty.
So it's the purple is One Tree Hill from our kits. So it's 2. It was our sample, and then the multicolor is I can't remember her name. She vended at ZK, but I think she was only there for the 1 year, and she has a colorway called Dirty Hippie, and my brain can't. And she's from Michigan, right? Yeah.
Fiber Addiction M?
Fiber Addiction M.
Excellent.
Thank you. So
I got it.
So yes.
Ding ding ding.
Yay! So this yarn was from Fiber Addiction M. Love it. Ball band's long gone, so don't know the color, but super
you
cool.
said Dirty Hippie. Or no, that was just your remembering. Got it. That was your device by which you could remember who the dyer was.
Yes. I remembered one of her colorways, but it was not this one. I did not remember this one. But I had like 3 balls of her yarn, and I hadn't knit any of them yet. And this one just said, "Oh, I'm such a cute baby hat color. You should knit with me." And actually, I probably bought it for that purpose because it just was too perfect.
It screamed it. I think you remember I think I remember you talking about it in Enabling. Yeah.
So, yay, a baby hat was made, and this hat pattern is so cool, and Tin Cat Knits always makes them from baby to adult. I might make this for an adult. It was kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Although it'll take a lot longer than the baby hat, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the catch-22 with those, though. The baby will outgrow it much sooner than the adult will as well, though, right?
True. Yeah.
So it knits up fast, but they also outgrow it fast.
So I'll bring the sweater next time.
This is you leaving notes for future Amy?
Yeah, future Amy, you should bring the sweater.
My stuff is all like in quarantine, and like it does not mix until I talk about it.
Yeah. Well, I had worn it once, and then I was gonna wear it again, and then I had folded it, and I know exactly where it is. It got put in a sweater box, like as if like put away in the closet. Like, whoops. You've got quite the pile there. You should start talking.
I should. All right. So these were the SKUs that were in my purse when I went. That was part of my birthday day too. I went to Serendipity, and I had a frozen mochaccino. Mm-hmm. Oh, it was so good. It's a total tourist trap. I don't know if you've seen the movie with John Cusack. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Serendipity. So I had to go, but it was like after tip, it was almost $20 for just my frozen mochaccino.
Whoa.
Yeah, but it was huge. I really should have had somebody there with me to help share it.
Okay.
But yeah, they were featured. These socks were featured there. So gotcha. I had cast on the yoke of my sweaters, or one of my sweaters, and was doing some color swapping and needed to go pick out a new color, and so I was knitting on these. And this is Show Me Yarn in the Camp ZK colorway, so I absolutely love it.
You stepped on something.
have I worn these?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like maybe it got set in something, maybe. Anyway, it doesn't stink.
Smelling her socks. Like, what is this?
No, I bet I wore these on Saturday.
You probably wore them so.
Yep. So, okay. They didn't get completely quarantined because they've got a dirty spot on the bottom. But those got finished up. And SKUs, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love that colorway. Absolutely love that there's skinnier parts. This little purple gray stripe slayed me every single time I got to it. I was like, oh, I love it. Gave me a little woof. Okay. Woof. All right. So to set off on the trip, I was trying to do my project planning. Like, what was I going to take? And of course, the socks were packed. And then I was like, if I could cast on anything to take with me, it would be the Sunset Highway. Lo and behold, I should knit it before Rhinebeck because it seems like it was the sweater of Rhinebeck. Like, everybody had them on. I felt like I needed to pull out my my little yoke and be like, I'm knitting it, but yours is so beautiful. And I get to talk to people about their color choices. But if you remember, right before I went to Rhinebeck, or left for Rhinebeck, we podcasted, and I had picked out this gray, this pink, a speckle cherry blossom from Leading Mud Fiber Arts, and then this green, the Yarnakugan. And so I got to the speckle on this, and I decided that I don't like speckle in color work. I know that the pattern design, Boyland Knits, that she has it in there, and I think if that's your aesthetic, go for it. I look at it and I think I missed a stitch, or that I knit a stitch wrong. I don't know, you were mentioning that if you have coordinating, so like they share a color, that will happen. Even with like this gray, there wasn't much gray in that cherry blossom. I mean, there was a little. I guess I can't say that it wasn't completely coordinating. It wasn't completely contrasting either. But I didn't like it, so I went to Nitty City, which if I were in New York City, in Manhattan, Nitty City would be my LYS. Absolutely loved being there, absolutely loved giving the Minnesota 52 stories from the road. But ultimately, like, they had I went to a whole bunch of different places. I didn't get to Woolen down in Brooklyn, and I didn't get to the Brooklyn General Store down in Brooklyn on my day that I walked 17 miles. Which was just insane. But it was an urban hike and it was super fun. But I picked out this Madeline Tosh blue and absolutely loved it. And then I got down to the green and I was like, oh, it's not contrasting enough. And I think it's kind of a literal pales in comparison type thing. Like, this pink just had so much contrast, and the light blue just had a bunch of contrast, that the green at the bottom with the gray was just not popping.
I was like,
and I was not happy with it. And again, I probably got like 7 rows into it, and if I had just given it some time, I would have noticed that it had some contrast. But lo and behold, I went back to Nitty City and picked out this Madeline Tosh. I believe, I can't remember what I have the bag over here. Amy always gets the best views of me. So the light blue is Baltic, or is the dark blue Baltic? I have all of the ball bands. You think that I think, yeah, because I've got 2 of so this is Baltic, and the light blue is, yeah, of course, I can't find it. I had it at one time. It must have jumped the queue. So this is the pink, and these are the twist light. And I really like the twist light. It's super soft, and unlike some of their other stuff, it actually has nylon in it.
This one feels almost like their sport that I have. Tosh sport.
Yep. So super soft. So I went and picked out this other color, Baltic, and then in looking at the light blue and the gray and the pink, I noticed that I would have enough to do another yoke, and I was second guessing myself. I don't know if I like the dark blue at the bottom there, and so I just cast on another one. I had enough needles with me that I could do that. And so I cast on this light blue and I did the same pink. I swapped in the gray instead of the light blue. And then I really liked the contrast of the Yarnakugan with the light blue. And so I couldn't bring myself, because I had already gotten to the arm split on this one, to rip it out. And I didn't need the yarn per se, so I just ended up inadvertently having 2 sunset highways on the needle.
Okay.
And so this one was pretty straightforward as far as finishing, although it was the second one that I finished because the green, Megan Green. But the I was very much in love with the design, where the color work on the arms here makes it look like, I guess I could, although we're probably rapidly running out of my metric ton of enabling here. I really like how it looks like elbow patches when you wear it. And so at first I don't know that I was 100% set on it, but I definitely wanted at least one of mine to have it. So this was the one that I actually had enough yarn to finish. The sleeves in the color. I had originally finished this one with, because I have a lot of the pink left over, finishing with a similar light blue, gray, light blue, and then into pink. And if you go out and look at it on Instagram, it looks kind of Christmas clowny.
Okay.
And I'm not making fun of anybody that has chosen to finish theirs that way. I just think that it's this combo of colors and the having the pink at the bottom of the sleeves just was not doing it for me. So turns out if you have enough to finish and have the same color on both sides, it does look like elbow patches. Otherwise, it just looks like you've got like patchwork arm going on, basically, right? So I ended up ripping back the finished sleeves, whole finished sleeves. So I knit 6 sleeves on these 2 sweaters, but lo and behold, I only ended up with 2. I very rapidly decreased, because this is a very expansive sleeve. I don't know if you can tell by looking at it. And I think that's a little bit to offset this color work at the elbow, because if you do work it a little tight, it could end up being super like hulking out, right? Like it would be tight across your bicep. But I very rapidly decreased, and then just did a little bit of the color work and ended up with gray, and it is about a 3/4 length sleeve, and I'm super happy with it. I could have finished with the gray, but I thought that then you noticed the, well, I went until the green ran out, and that took it a lot longer because it was a lot skinnier circumference.
Right.
I want to make sure that I worked that in there, otherwise I could have just ripped back to the gray previously, but no. It's got it longer so that the gray hits much later on the sleeve rather than up here. And then I didn't want to fully do a full sleeve in the gray because I think then you did see the contrast a lot more. And Ellie took pictures of me in it, and I'll post that. I have a picture posted. This one. Am I putting you to sleep? But yes, super love these 2 sweaters. I want to knit all the color work, and let me tell you, I know that it's a lot more knitting to knit fingering weight sweaters, but that color work on the yoke, not being 2 strands, so basically held double up at the top, makes it a much like lighter, breezier, airier color work sweater. IMO, in my opinion. So yes, and I absolutely love this now. It's not clowny at all to me. Christmas clowny to me. And then last but not least, I wanted to mention that prior to going to Rhinebeck, I wasn't able to talk about it, but I test knit the Needles Up Amulet Cowl for Miss I Rock Knits, 1/2 of Knit Cahoots, and I Rock Designs, and absolutely loved the knitting of it and the concept of it, which is that you can hang locking stitch markers up here on these little amulet type things, and they can shine through the hole. And then you can wear your stitch markers like jewelry. You don't know anybody else that's done that, do you? I put mine on a necklace and you made fun of me. Like, you can't tell that it's a stitch marker at all, can you? And you were like, yeah, you can. But like, that's part of now it's a thing, right?
Okay.
Doesn't never not knitting.
Yes.
She has the jewelry.
Those were beautiful.
Yes, and you could wear them on here too. So, yep. And this is Dream In Color, their MCN base. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to give away the secret of it, but she does something very interesting on the ruffle, and I absolutely love it. My knitter brain went, huh, I don't know that I would have thought about that, but that does give it a lot more stability and fabulousness. So there was that. Go check it out on the Rabs. All right, finished objects. I only have my one work in progress, so that was why my finished objects took so long. What are you working on?
I decided to go ahead and finish my hat and mittens combo. So I had the hat done a while ago, and now I'm knitting to 0. But I'm like, well, I don't know, the combo still feels like an unfinished business. So I went ahead and I cast that on.
That seems legit to me.
Yeah. So I cast on
this part of the set.
This business today. Just this evening, and I'm working on the mittens for the set. So you can kind of see that in order for it to work out that you'll have enough yarn, you use the top of the hat to start the bottom or the base of the mitten, and then it'll be the tip of the mitten will be the gray. So,
and the pattern is Tin Can Knits?
It is the Ridgeline. Hat and mittens. So it's actually a pattern that I bought shortly before they sent it to us for the for giving away to everybody at our retreat. Not everybody. I mean, they sent a variety of patterns, and the Ridgeline just happened to be one of them, and everybody was able to get.
But we enjoy supporting them. So.
Yes. Oh no, I was happy to buy it. I was ready to buy it. It would have been too late if I had waited. Sometimes you get in that mood, right? It's like, I'm ready to buy it now.
That was me in the Sunset Highway. I bought it, came home and searched for the yarn.
Yep. So, let's see. I did have a finished object in here, kind of. You will not see these again. It is a pair of socks that is just one Kitchener shy of being done. So I got those done. I just forgot that they were in here. It's been so long. So those are just a plain old top-down basic sock. Grok, this sock. It was no special patterning. Heel flap, etc. So then I started a pair for my son, because we had that talk about how like everything that was on the needles was still just for me, and it felt like I needed some other knitting going on. So like I knit the baby hat, and I do have socks for my son going on. And I think this is like an MCN, because it's really, but it was just left over from, don't ask, I don't know. It's been so long. That's how long.
Okay. I won't. So, question redacted. Retracted?
Retracted.
I can't redact it because it's not in writing.
Well, yeah, and everybody heard it, so.
Go back into the video and be like, beep! Sorry, that was Megan cursing about the color work again.
But I did get also a lot of progress on my road. I don't remember no road long enough. So
it's part of the ain't no mountain high enough.
So it's finally to the point where I could join it and be a cowl. So like,
or a really fun hat, look like a turban.
It's mainly, can I get this over my head? Oh yes, I can get this over my head. Because if you do it around your neck, it's like, well, but can I get that over my head? No, you gotta wrap it around your head so you know if you can get it over your head.
These are wise words. As anybody that has stuck their head through a railing will tell you. Right?
Yes. So, I feel like I have enough yarn to do this again, so I'll probably end up with like 14 or so repeats. Yeah. So at least 14 repeats on it before I stop.
Excellent. I love that combo.
Yeah.
That brown.
I noticed I had a mess up. So I'm like, oh.
You could do duplicate stitching.
Yeah, I was going to do some duplicate stitching on it. But it was like, oh my goodness, like how perfect everything was. And like, wow, I just did not see that at all. Just kept right on going.
Yeah.
But
I tell myself that that's what I'm doing when I was knitting this yoke. And the yokes go really fast. It's kind of the bottom part that's not so much. When you're going like this, it's really figuring out whether or not you've missed a stitch, but mostly it's just kind of admiring your work, right? Like, look at that. I'm worried about. I didn't mention mine. I don't know that I'm kind of worried about my Madeline Tosh bleeding all over. I've never had any problem with Steve and Andy's, but I have had Madeline Tosh's kind of like expand. Are you worried at all about your light and dark color there?
Oh no.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I don't know because I haven't had too many. Well, I haven't had any two-color things.
Yeah,
with Jill Draper. Like I have the one thing that I've knit with hers, but I don't recall it bleeding.
Okay.
Yeah, as I can recall, and these colors don't scream like strong.
Yeah.
Like there would be excess dye in them.
The pink is the one that I'm the most worried about, especially with the juxtaposition to that light blue.
I would almost be worried about that blue getting into your light blue on the bigger sweater.
Yep. But yeah, no, I have some real concerns. They've not been blocked for that very reason.
Probably make sure you have color catchers on hand.
For sure, I always do. No matter what. Anything else?
I had already mentioned, and you don't really need to see that I'm in the middle of my last hex.
Does it look kind of similar to the other ones that you?
Yeah, it really does. It looks exactly like one that I shown already because there's 3 of them.
Amy's like, you have no room to talk, skew, manufacturing person. They all look the same except for a few changes of color.
It's fun to see different yarns knit up though.
This
is the same yarn.
100%.
The cool thing has been blocking them. I mean, cool and like
transformative.
Transformative, but also mind-numbingly slow because I have the one block that I've positioned the hex perfectly, and and so I don't really want to go through that trouble again. So I block them one at a time. And in the summer you can block like 2 or 3 in a day. In the winter you might as well just put it up and forget about it and just do 1 a day. So I've been doing that and I'm catching up. But then I realized that all the ones I've blocked, I haven't put the ends in yet either. So that's another project, like, oh, okay. Catching up on the knitting isn't enough. You got to catch up on the blocking and the sewing in of ends, and then you can feel like you're accomplished, I guess. The sewing in of the ends, though, I mean, now that they're blocked, it is something that I could do. And I'm like, oh, man.
I definitely get in moods with doing ends, so.
But that's it, yes.
Okay. In New York, I was showing my brother my love always, and he was like, he has a new love interest, and the love interest just got done running the New York City Marathon, and so Matt, my brother, is getting back into running, and he was like, oh, that'd be perfect to take out on a run. And so while I was at Darn It Anyway this weekend, I picked out, he mentioned that teal looks really nice on his skin tone and with his brown eyes. And so I picked out, this is kind of a low-cost option. It is just 100% wool, so it's not even merino. It's Painted Desert is the base, and Knitting Fever is the manufacturer. But I just felt like it was super... like it almost glows. I really like it, and it's it's soft enough. I mean, the fact that it's going to be hard wearing is really nice. And then I paired it with a Knit Picks Felici Selfstriping. And a lot of the samples that I had knit up were in just mini skeins. And so this was kind of a fun, like, it looks like a plaid. Like when you look at it, you're like, the self-striping changes, and then you've got your teal that stays the same. And yeah, I don't know, it was super fun. And then I put in a progress mite keeper to see how much. So this was like one day, and this was another day, and this is today, obviously, but to try to keep me motivated. Gift knitting often is very motivating because you want to get it to them, but it's the biggest circumference because he's got a larger melon than I do. I have a small head, and I wanted it to be, if he really wanted to wear it as a cowl, that it would be comfortable as a without the needles in it as a cowl. And then I'm getting towards the end of that 50-gram skein of the self-striping. I have another one, although I think this may have been a short one. I don't know what I would have done with it, but it seemed like I had
already pulled a bunch out of it.
Yeah, yep. So that I can do the fancy-dancy, give it a twist and make it into a hat, or rather my brother can do so. So yeah, that has been fun. The stripes are fun in that way. They keep you going. Although again, I had to motivate myself in some way. I totally see him wearing it rocket. But it's fun. With my sweater and kind of some of my color consultations, and then even with this, Ellie recently has been like, Mom, I don't know if this is what you were going for, but that kind of seems like it's a plaid. And I was like, I've noticed that as well. I've not done a self-striping in this pattern, the Love Always. And that's kind of fun to give it as a gift too, because love always. Anyway, and she was saying it looked like plaid to her, and it does. That Felici is super soft. All right, I have a metric ton of enabling.
Oh, so I have kind of this
relativism. You thought you had a lot, but no, Megan has outdone you.
No, well, yes, by a lot. So mine is going to be fairly similar. Thanks to a lovely friend who went to Rhinebeck, I have a Andre Sue butterfly. So I am very excited for this.
I have an Andre Sue butterfly too. Yay. Strange. It was a sight to behold. I sent a picture of all of the sock blanks to Amy so that she could choose. And to see that many hand-painted works of art in one place, I was like, oh. I think they were angels singing. So, yep, butterfly. And then I, as the mother of 2 young boys, could not get the wham, pow, bam. Yes, bang. I'm starting to get more coffee, and not a good coffee.
And then while we were at Garnet anyway, I got Remix Lights. There's no wool in this. So it's nylon, cotton, acrylic, silk, and linen. And it is super soft. They had a knitted up sample. It seems to wear really nicely. Megan scooped up all of that yellow. So I was like, well, what other color looks good with my coloring? And I thought that the red would be a good choice. But I also grabbed one yellow, so that maybe it's a Gryffindor, maybe it's Wonder Woman, but there's something in there about these color combos that I thought, okay, I should be able to make either a really nice shawl or a sweater with this. So I'm excited for those. And then I also, and you got...
Yes, I got a metric ton of them. I thought it was a really great price point. So Garnet anyway is selling them for $12.50. So super good price point for 400 yards of a unique base. I'm going to be doing some color work, so I've got a sweater, a colorwork sweater, I think out of the blue and yellow. Amy pointed out that the gray and yellow was, I had been doing a lot of Grello lately. So the blue and yellow are going to be something for me. And then Miss Ellie is going to have a red and gray, and that's if hers pans out. I've kind of got a design idea. Then I'll knit the same for me.
Gotcha.
We'll have matching base sweaters and design sweaters, just not matching colors. So, cool. Yes.
So then I ended up with a new tea dyer, little G, Life in the Long Grass. This is hand dyed in Ireland. So
Ireland.
Yeah, it's got that magic of the Irish sheep too. Super soft.
They eat the clover. I think I picked up that color several times.
And I could not decide between these two colors, and they just happened to have a nice coupon that day. So I had to pick up both of these, and I thought, well, either together or separately. I thought that they looked really lovely, and
super fun.
I don't know. I didn't have any of this dyer, and now I have two.
And it's super soft. I had to laugh at myself. I went out, and to me this was brand new, and I know that it was kind of new to Yarn It anyway. She said that they had just gotten it in, but like people had posted out on Instagram about it like back in March. So that's how out of the loop I am.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
it's not new, I guess, if it came out in March and it just came across my path, but don't make excuses for me. I don't need excuses.
Okay. All right.
I don't need no excuses.
All right.
While I was at Nitty City, they also had a trunk show by Once Upon a Corgi. This is Zombie Kangaroo, and it is in their Isaac base, which is 100% Pullworth. So I think it'll be a nice hard-wearing sock for a boy, maybe, in my family. Zombie Kangaroo. I don't quite get it. Actually I do, because Amber was sitting there, and Amber has everybody's phone number in her phone, which we kind of give her a hard time about. And she texted her, and I guess the kangaroos were the high school mascot, and she wanted to add like a darkness to it. So Zombie Kangaroo. I know the backstory. All because I asked the right person, apparently. And then I have never bought any of Legacy Fiber Arts. And the speckles and their colorways were slaying me at Needles Up. And they had quite the fabulous spread as well. So this is, I think I got all of their steel toes base. This is the Needles Up colorway. I thought it was very autumnal, but not overly autumnal. So some speckles of pink and orange and browns. And then this one, I kept on putting it back and going, no, Megan, you've got lots like that already at home. And I just kept on picking it up, like seeing it out of the corner of my eye and going, oh, I like that one. Jumpin' Jellyfish. I think it's the orange. The orange, the purple, blue. And the speckles, of course. And they were just darling. I absolutely loved them. Jessie. I wanna be Jessie's girl. But that's not it. It just made me think of it. Very dark pinks and pinks and purples and dark overwash and depth of color and speckles. That was what got me.
All the things.
All the things. And then I went to Amy Beth's booth, and I was probably a little annoying, but I wanted to make sure that I got the cursive knit and that I got a full bicycle. And I really liked the yellow zipper. I also, my work in progress bag that you just saw, apples. And she had a bunch of apples, to be honest with you. I feel like maybe she knew I was coming. I had to set some of them back and be like, Megan. So this was me trying to be restrained.
Got it.
Yeah. And she had...
Looks perfectly restrained.
The world's most adorable... Do you know who this is?
Easy.
Yeah. Elizabeth Zimmerman. Enamel pins. So
I did wonder about the not royalties, but like
I can't remember. I heard a
likeness.
conversation in, like I wasn't a part of it, but I think she said that she had contacted the family.
Okay.
To make sure that they were okay with it. Cool. So, I mean, it's not, again, not an exact likeness, but it is a quote from her with a yarn ball and yeah. So super fun on a little card that says, "We continue to knit on with confidence." Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was designed by Leanne Coppola of Arrow Acres Farm. So maybe she contacted them and not Elizabeth, but I got to meet, this was like the highlight of my Needles Up, all of that was fabulous, but I got to meet the fabulous Camel City Dyeworks, Angie.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and she said that this one was screaming my name.
It is.
Yes.
Really.
It's on the her BFL nylon base. The colorway is Little Prince, and she did not need to gift me anything. Her presence was a present enough. Mm-hmm. But she was super sweet, and she had a beautiful Sunset Highway on. So thank you so much, Angie, for that. Yeah, it wants to be on my needles like now. Mm-hmm. Like now. And then I got quite a few gifts. I don't want to. Yeah, I've got so much. Amber, Yarn Hoarder, commissioned Suburban Stitcher to dye up a Rhinebeck colorway and gifted it to everybody that was there. So this is the Pilgrimage colorway.
Just in your group, right? She didn't buy everybody.
No. Our house, yes. Sorry. If you saw Amber, she was handing out Suburban Stitcher's Pilgrimage. No, sorry. I would have grabbed you a skein if she were doing that.
That's true. You would have.
Grab Amy one. But yes, so again, it is my yearly pilgrimage. I feel super blessed to be able to go and to be surrounded by all of the fabulous knitters, and I don't think that I would be able to legitimize it if my brother wasn't there. Mm-hmm. So it kind of ends up being a family / knitting. Chaz is going to come judge.
Uh-oh.
He's like looking at all the piles on the floor, and
he's judging us.
Yes, me. I mean,
it's true. Mine's all put away.
So, Pilgrimage colorway. I believe she's got a few of these left in her shop because she sold them as well. Super gorgeous. Multi-crafty guy. Sewed up bags. Yeah. With the sweaters.
I'm jealous.
Mm-hmm. There's some pretty fabulous stuff in here. I'm not gonna lie. I got some
although it's
stitch
not
markers,
a shirt bag, so
a little yarn enamel. Yeah, guy. Corey gave me that. Got a scrappy thread little notions pouch, and I've been wanting to use this, but it's been again quarantined. So, and the fun little eyeball, the green eyeball staring at you, and of course, sweet dear Heidi.
Oh,
maybe
another one. Christmassy this time.
It is very Christmassy. I noticed that as well. Can't remember if there's anything else in there. Some more stitching first. Mm-hmm. The little pumpkin guy, and yeah, very, very kind. I did not get to sew pants for anybody this year, as I had in years past, so I was like a roommate gifter fail, but you do what you can. It was enough just to get there this year for me. The Fabulous Pearl of Knitty City recycled kimonos. The scarf that she gave to me. Isn't that nice? Just to know that this was a kimono is pretty fabulous. I think it's neat. An upcycled kimono. Who all wore these kimonos previously? What were their stories? So she must sell them in the shop. But she very generously gifted this one to me. I got to choose. She had a whole bunch of pretty ones. They had a fun bag, and since I was like buying things from them left and right for my sweaters. And then I also got that came before, but we didn't get to talk about it because we were trying to be brief before I left. The Suburban Stitcher River's Edge. So this was Hurricane Harvey relief. Sorry about the crinkleness. And I bought 3 so that I could make a fingering weight sweater if I wanted, kind of a black speckle over the top of a lighter blue and kind of mossy green.
I think that was another one where I hesitated and I missed out.
I think she has them in her shop now.
Oh,
you just have to go back. Just
return.
Circle back, baby. Circle back. I also had some show me yarn that I ordered. Again, this is my time. This is my time to stash. I'm calling it winter stashing syndrome. You're such a...
She's got it bad.
I do.
I have it. It's not as bad as yours.
You're such a show-off on their BFL nylon base. Show me yarn. This is the Butterfly House on their boot heel base.
But that's also the butterfly.
Yes. One of these is self-striping. This one
okay.
is self-striping, and this is a variegated.
Gotcha.
I loved it.
Love the variegated.
Yes. Isn't that pretty?
Very cool.
I had to have this one. The fact that there was a self-striping option kind of icing on the cake.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's getting deep over here. Also spoke at the Perfect Blend in Socrates, New York. Amy and I did a poor job the first year that we attended of booking housing, and Socrates was one of the places that was far enough away that there was still housing available, and now I'm completely in love with the little city. Jimmy Fallon is from there. They have a fabulous little quaint downtown, and this yarn shop is also part of that. They are super sweet. Every time that I've ever been in there, they can tell me the thing that I was knitting the last year that I was in. They always ask about you because you came in the first year. Okay. Super, super sweet. And it was super fun because last year Corey and I had kind of came in and said we were working on the book to kind of triumphantly return this year. Yeah. Be like, we did it, we did it. So we weren't just telling you stories, we actually made it happen. So, and then this is actually hand thrown in Socrates, New York.
Okay, cool.
Wardell Pottery. Cool. Yeah, super fun. And it made it.
It did.
I put it in my backpack surrounded by lots of yarny goodness. And it wasn't the airline people throwing it and stuff. It was me making sure that I didn't like drop my backpack or bang it into things. But it made it. I also bought a Serendipity mug because they have a lot of touristy type logo stuff. All right, and then the rest that was in there is just something that I picked up because I was thinking about making a sweater. So this is all that's left.
Okay. I'm sure about that.
Yes, I bought a yarn baby. This is the only thing that I actually got at Rhinebeck proper. So everything else was through Needles Up or at Nitty City. And this is just 2 skeins of the Briar Rose 4th of July base, which is 100% merino, and it's 550 yards. And so I just picked out 2 skeins that I thought looked like they would go together. And I made myself a little yarn baby, and 1,100 yards of this fabulous springy marly goodness for $72. I thought was a steal. And I think that they would actually ship it to you from there if you asked them. So yeah, something where I would have to be obviously alternating every other row because there's just very dark sections and very light sections.
It's got an aroma.
Yes, they vinegared it. And then, I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast previously, but Knitterly Things has a new fun speckle and stripe colorway of the month. So I think I got October, November, and December, 3 months club. And this month's colorway is That Pow Bang. And so there is speckle in there and there is stripes, and I absolutely love it. This is her superwash merino and nylon base, but it's the tighter twist versus like these socks are made out of the other Vesper, the original merino nylon, which I feel like is a little more of a sport, and it's not a tight twist at all. And then while I was buying the club, of course, 2 others had fallen. The cart, this is Eternal Sunshine. Mm-hmm. Absolutely love. I think when we first met each other, first becoming friends. Mm-hmm. It's not like dating. Are we friend dating? I was obsessed with Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Do you remember that? Briefly?
I remember the movie.
I went and saw it like 2 or 3 times in the movie theater. I'm a really big fan of movies that trick you, and then at the end, if you had, you could have seen where it was going the whole way, and then they pull one over on you.
So you love that. So you were like, oh, I need to go back and figure out,
see where all the places where the clues were, right? Mm-hmm. Like, oh, that's why they did that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a big fan of those type of movies. And this is Cotton Candy Fairyland. Say that one time fast. Cotton Candy Fairyland. Cotton Candy Fairyland. Cotton Candy Fairyland. Who was it on? It was on the Late Late Show with James Corden. Mm-hmm. Dame Judi Dench. Dame Judi Dench. Say that. There was like a record of 11 times, I think, being able to say it without messing up.
Wow.
Dame Judi Dench. I can't even say it once. Yep. She couldn't even say it once. No, it was the other guest that couldn't even say it once. Dame Judi Dench, Dame Judi Dench, Dame Judi Dench, Dame Judi Dench. It started to sound like when she was doing it, because I think she topped that she was saying Dame Judi Dench, because the middle one didn't have the j, it had a d sound, but Dame Judi Dench, Dame Judi Dench, Dame Judi Dench. See, you can do it if you think really hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a lot. I've got a lot to knit up.
Yes, you do. Good thing.
I've got Christmas knitting started. That's always a good sign, right?
Yeah.
And well on its way. I don't know what else I'm knitting for anybody else, but I knew that I wanted to knit this for my brother when he oohed and awed over me doing the little flip it inside out and give it a twist and turn it into a hot hat. Are you trying to get yourself a level?
If you're making
You're like, I see that you are a sucker for flattery, so I will also ooh and ah. Yeah.
Every time I finish something that I don't specifically have a recipient for, it just goes into the pile of hats. Mm-hmm. So one of these days, they're just gonna need to go to charity.
The pile of hats.
Yeah, it's quite the pile.
TM.
Yeah, and again, like, oh, I'm gonna knit a hat set, and oh, this is an interesting technique. I want to make a hat out of that. It just doesn't end. Sometimes it's that way with sweaters. Like as soon as I got that Henley done, I was like, it's a bit roomy. Like I almost think that, they knit it negative ease, and I thought, I want it to be comfy, so I knit it positive ease, and I'm like, no, it needed to be negative ease. Yeah, I need to give it to somebody where this will be negative ease on them.
Some of the thermal kind of stitch patterns seem like they're super stretchy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
like the waffly stuff kind of has a more of a stretch factor.
Yes, while that's true, I don't like how they stretch around my midsection, so I just like them to be roomy. Mm. Yep. But I was like very close to like, maybe I don't know, I should wear it a couple times before I give up on it.
Yeah.
But right now I'm like, this might be for somebody who's bigger than me.
Yeah.
I was knitting this for you all along.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of designs that I need to be working on. I continue to have that shawl, the leggings that need to get done that Ellie keeps reminding me of. Like, Mom, my legs are going to grow.
I witnessed this in person. It was pretty intense.
She legging shamed me, man. She was like, you're not going to knit me that sweater that you're buying me the yarn for until you do the leggings, right, Mom?
Yeah. So. And I would tend to agree with her because, I mean, I know that they stretch, but they do look tiny, and, this is the years that they grow.
Well, she was saying that some of her socks were starting to get smaller, like feel tighter, and so I was like, maybe her feet will grow and then she'll shoot up. So yeah, I'm less worried.
Still need to knit like the wind.
I'm less worried about the leg width. I'm more worried about the leg length.
Mm-hmm.
Like that she'll get longer legs. Anyway, we just roared right through that. I felt like this was going to be like a 2-hour episode. Thanks for putting up with us.
Yeah, I know. Right? It's like crazy.
It is, but we have a good time.
Well, next Friday, celebration kit.
Celebrate with us.
Yep. Go ahead and pick up that, either the big or small option.
Mm-hmm.
And know that the big option has bag and yarn and goodie surprises.
This is the part of the show where we normally talk about ZK, and so the vendors will be coming out for that as well, the announcements, which is super exciting.
Right. They've been picked. Yes. So as soon as they're contracted, they will start being added.
Yay!
So as they sign, they get added.
We've got, again, some returning favorites and also some newbies, which is super exciting.
Oh, all of a sudden I got something like itching my nose.
Is it my Briar Rose smell yarn?
It might be, I don't know.
Okay.
So, kit, vendor mention.
Anything else?
Anything else? No?
I think I've said all that needs to be said.
Well, hopefully we'll get recording, because you said that we should.
We gotta throw down the gauntlet.
We gotta throw it down. It's been so easy to go, meh, I'm not feeling it either.
Yeah. Yep.
But, yeah.
Work, kids.
Yeah.
Just general malaise.
The whole thing.
Yeah. Right. But I'm excited. There's a lot of exciting things that are happening, and so
this is true.
We should come and share our excitement.
And I've gotten back into the mojo of, crafting, so if it's not knitting, I've been getting back to my loom. I did put about a foot of progress onto my scarf or whatever you want to call it that's on the loom now. So if I could just add, I don't even know how much I have left. It's just going to go on and on and on. But if I could get through that and get that off, that would be exciting.
I think my stash mojo is at peak. I don't know that my color work mojo and my stashing mojo is at peak right now.
I know that I have been hesitating to increase the stash, so I'm doing pretty good there. Like what I did today instead was I created my wish list.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I tried to get people to help me add more to my wish list. So I think it's nice because it makes it more of a surprise. Like if you have a larger list, you don't quite know what you're going to get. If it's super small, then you kind of know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to get those 3 things. But
yeah.
Oh well. Hopefully we record before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our gauntlet.
Okay.
Record before Thanksgiving.
Amy says before we get fat on turkey.
Yep, exactly.
Must record.
Okay. Gotcha. Bye.
Bye. We've done.